Swear to God, mate, if this is a pike, I'm going to kick off.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Fishing TV. Joining me and Ian again going down to Loggies, Loggies Lake, Stour Valley. It's down towards Canterbury Way, and it's an absolutely gorgeous looking lake. I'm not 100% sure on the size of it. It's got to be at least, what, 3 to 4 acres?
Oh, easy. Yeah.
3 to 4 acres. I'll have to get back to you on the actual size. But yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful lake. We was down there last year, never got a video of it. But yeah, we hopefully going to bring you plenty of action on this one. There's about 8 or 9 of us coming on this trip. Funny enough, a lot of them are Ian's workmates. And there's probably a face or two that you might have seen there before as well. So yeah, get down to the lake, show you about, be back soon. Right, so we are here, we're going to get set up and we're ready to go. We are in the car park swims, peg 9 that I'm in. As you can see behind me, it's absolutely glorious. Got them lily pads over there, got the islands in front of me. I've been told that at least one's come out in the last couple of days, so there's a little bit of hope. We've got the breeze in our favour as well. Hopefully we're going to have something out. Looks nice, it does look really carpy down there. The only thing that I'm not looking forward to is going to be the weather. It's going to be an absolute scorcher, well into the 30s today. It's going to be the hottest day of the year. Tomorrow's supposed to be a little bit cooler with a few thunderstorms, so play with the rough with the smooth on this one. But yeah, hopefully it's not going to be too bad. Got a little bit of shade here, so let's get fishing. So apparently last night someone's rod got pulled in. If you can see over there, the bailiff's in the actual water trying to look for the guy's rod. I don't know whether you can hear any of the noise he's making. Oh, sorry, this is on my camera phone, so the zoom's not brilliant. You should just be able to see him in there. Zoom in as much as I can. He's jumped out of the boat. He reckons he's found the rod. Well, if nothing else, it's given us a laugh this morning. Anyway, back to setting up. So we just get a phone call from some of the boys over there, as you can see. Sorry, that's as far as I can zoom in. One of the boys, he's got a load of lily pads right in front of him. I don't think you can just make them lily pads out right in front of his swim. And they go all the way out across there and they stop. I don't know if you can see that right in the centre of the screen now. They stop round about there. So they're going all the way up to his swim. He's hooked into one and it's taken him straight into them lilies and locked him right up. He can't move. We've currently, I think the bailiff's just gone round there. No, he's driven past. He's got the waders on. One of them's jumped in. He's taking the waders off now actually. I'm a couple of minutes behind grabbing the camera. I'm not 100% sure what's going on at the moment, but as soon as we get an update I'll let you know. But yeah, hopefully he got the fish in. But it doesn't look like it. Yeah.
We call them the foreskins. Call them the foreskins. Just jump in, you pussies.
On YouTube, mate.
Oh, it will, don't worry about that.
It is going on YouTube.
I've just walked round here and we've got the bailiff going to be jumping.
Is that what
This should be a laugh. Well, if you want to call him that. Aquaman at his finest.
Yeah, I bet.
Don't even like that.
It's like been born.
Can't breathe.
Let's put my arms in first, you silly twat. You're gonna kill me. That looks snug. Alright, go on then, Twig. Put it over my head.
See them lilies I was talking about. Right in front of him there.
I don't need this inside. I don't need this inside. Alright, Pete, take the rod.
There's Ian all on his lonesome over there.
Where is it? Just there.
Scared it off now.
Where is it? Just here.
Literally, the middle yellow one.
See that? Mate, that is bad.
Ooh, that is well weedy.
Mind yourself in there, you don't get stuck.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
You need a prong, you need a thing. Got a landing net pole.
Yeah.
Prod it.
Yeah.
Swim.
Take pole.
That's right, Pop.
You spent too much time in this water this weekend.
You fucked Master him up yesterday.
Shut up.
You're still fucking
You got your rod back, didn't you?
Can you reach that line yet?
No, I can't even see it.
There, look. There, you're over the net, look. No, pull it round.
Hang on.
fucking not.
Shut up, Pete.
That's it.
Fucking dickhead. Twat. Hey, catapult.
There, right.
Catapult's more fun. You might the back of your head. Don't.
Swear to God, mate, if this is a pike, I'm going to kick off.
It's an eel!
Oh, fuck that. Oh. Electric eel. Twig, are you going to do anything now? We're just going to stand there and
Wait
look
for you
pretty.
to get down to the fish.
You've got to fucking get further out.
How
can't
far
do
out
nothing.
is it?
Not far, it's just literally in front of you now.
Right, pull the weed over, Grant.
Keep going above it.
Shut up, Pete. Fucking idiot.
Just trying to help you, you twat.
Right there, look. You sure it's still on?
I'm pretty sure it is.
What are you doing?
He said it was as well.
Da da
It's got sand on it.
da da
Is it on there?
da 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 da
Wrap the line
da da.
around your fingers.
Shut up.
Trying to help you, you fucking idiot.
Grant, they're going a bit more, mate. Try and move that bit of weed above there, see it? Above that yellow leaf.
Yeah.
You've got to go further out. You've got
Yeah,
to get
it's-
Go
above it.
further in. I've got the line, go on.
This is
Don't
where you
wrap it
needed
around your
the
fingers, 'cause that fish takes off it, cut your fucking fingers. You know.
drone.
Get the drone up, Sam.
Try now, Twigs. You getting anything?
Yeah, got about a 20 stone fish.
Lovely bend in your rod.
Yeah?
The only bending the rod I'm going to see this weekend.
You've got to go further out.
You've got to go right in there,
above it.
Don. Honestly. That's solid, isn't it?
Look at the stud or something.
Yeah, the fish.
There ain't a fish on it.
I didn't think there was.
Is it not?
Just weed.
Luckily, the fish is shaken free.
You in?
Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah! Gotta go, boys.
Twig, it's on your rod, boy! What's that? You stuck again? Yeah.
Yeah, balled it in.
That's it. There we go. Sweet boys. Cheers, mate. Get back out there.
Unlucky.
Got a reef fish. Unlucky that.
I'm going to go round there and fuck Twiggy's fish up.
Yeah, always. Right, we're done now.
Yeah, I'm going round there to pick the boy to pick Twiggy up. Fuck no, mate. Pete, help me out.
No,
I'm sinking here. Hey mate, I swear to God, see you and your head bailiffing roll, you're falling. Yeah, nice work. Fucking can't move in this thing. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I guess
His fish will be stuck.
unlucky, mate.
Yeah, unlucky, dude. Well, unfortunately, not a lot happened last night. 24 hours down now. And yeah, this side of the bank, not a beep. I know 2 fish come out last night, right over the other side over there. One of the other guys, he called us last night, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, after having 2 carp out. I know one went about 23 pound, and I can't remember what the other one went. I think it was slightly bigger, but I'm sure I'm going to find out, and I will put it up on the screen with the pictures. But yeah, 2 carp were caught out on the far side. Unfortunately, not in my swim, so I'm not happy. There's still plenty of time. I had a couple of knocks, but I think today is going to be tactic change day. You're going to maybe change around the rigs on at least one of them. I don't know. So we've got 3 different tactics out there. It's a difficult place, but you know, it's just one of them things. We come to these places on the anticipation that we're not going to catch, and this is one of them places where you have to be, you know, you have to be on that level with yourself. It is a difficult venue down here. I'm not going to say it any other way. You've got to have your patience about you, but most of all, perseverance. You know, it's not one of them venues where if you definitely want to catch fish, you're going to get them because you want. This is my 2nd time at this venue, and so far, still no fish. So it is notoriously difficult, but that's what makes it all more fun. You know, you hook into a 30 pounder and you've been down to a venue for a couple of times and it's eluded you, then by the time you actually do catch one, it's going to be special. And that's what makes this sport all the more fun. Anyway, I need a cup of tea. I'm going to stick the kettle on, and I'll be back with you guys shortly. Alright, so as you can see there, we've just literally reeled in, and this is the rig that we're using. It's a little bit bashed up now. Putty's gone a little bit mangled, it's been sitting in the weeds. But, oh, just pulled the tubing out. Let's not worry about that for the moment. So, as you can see, there's the rig that I'm using. It's a Ronnie rig, a double pop-up on there, on a easy drop-off system. Now all I'm going to do on this is I'm just going to change the rig round. I'm going to put a longer hook link in. I mean, that one's probably what, 7 inches, I guess, 6 to 7 inches. So I'm probably going to put on maybe a foot long to 18 inches, put a tiny little putty, tiny little bit of putty on part of the section of the line, not too much. And what we're going to try and do is put pop-ups back on. I'm going to just try and let that drift up and sit off the bottom slightly, about a foot off the bottom. And because it's got the putty on there, what it's going to do is it's just going to sit there, about there, because I'm not going to put too much putty on so it sits down like that. Just enough so it is semi-buoyant and just pops up. That way it should sit above the weeds. Giving it the extra hook link will make sure that it's going to sit above the weeds while the weight drops down. I could put a chod rig on, but I've got a chod rig on one of the rigs, and this is another way that I try and overcome the weed. Sometimes works for me. I'm going to use a standard hair rig. I want to change up the system a little bit, put a standard hair rig on. But anyway, let's get that done. So today we are going to be using the Soft End Trapped 15-pound coated hook link, which is a braid coated in this coating, which keeps it nice and supple. Really, it's just, you wouldn't find braid that usually stays like that. So yeah, it keeps it nice and taut. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip about 3 inches off of the end to expose the braid underneath. We're going to tie a loop in that before we make a hair rig. If you haven't seen one of these before, it's a stripping tool. You put your braid in through there, you trap it down, you pull, and it takes off the coating. One of the bailiffs driving past. Yeah, it's a good little complex down here. They keep all the gates locked. You need a code to get in if the gates aren't open. So it is a secure compound down here. You've got a toilet block here with a shower. Currently the shower's not working while we're down here, but there is a shower nonetheless. Right, so now all we're going to do is take some of this stripped off braid and simply just do a granny knot in the end. Moisten it down a little bit to stop it from flaying about while I'm doing the knot. Now you can either push and pull with your fingers underneath there, or you can use a baiting needle. I tend to just use my fingers unless it is really finicky. There we go, straight away. A little bit of moisture before you pull that tight, and then cut your excess off. Right, now the rig itself, I'm probably going to want between 12 and 18 inches, so I'm going to take enough of this off. That should be plenty. Now we're going to be using a size 8 wide gape, which is micro barbed, and all we're going to do is turn it so the hook is actually facing downwards. Find the end and place it through the back. Put it all the way down to our desired hair length. Which should do me about there. I'm going to have a double bait on, so I want a little bit of extra than I normally would if I was having a single bait on. Right, I don't know whether you can see on the camera at the moment, but I've got long enough hair there, I've got enough excess there left over from the stripped off braid. I'm just going to whip that round about 8 or 9 times, go back for its own opening, and then there's our hook link essentially. You know, 1, 2, 3. Now I always go backwards, so I go away from myself first and then come back towards myself. Reason being is on most hooks on this side of it, there's usually a little tiny join where it's been bent over to make the loop in the actual eye of the hook. And the reason I go this way so it doesn't get caught into that, it comes around this way first, which is generally safer. You know, it's not going to nick the line if there is a slight gap there. Not all hooks have that gap, but some of them do. And yeah, it's caught the line before on me, and I've potentially lost fish because of it. So yeah, I always go back away from myself and then in towards myself. So we go about 7 or 8 turns. Get the end of the line again, go back through the back of the hook as we did the first time, pull that tight, and there we have a simple hair rig on a knotless knot. And straight away you can already see it's got that aggressive curve on a braid. It's a simplest of rigs, and it's caught me more fish than any other rig. Why didn't I put this on in the beginning? Well, I've been meaning to try and get out with more Ronnie rigs and Chod rigs and this rig and that rig and all these all singing and all dancing rigs. I don't seem to have much success on them, but I wouldn't be much of a fisherman if I didn't give them a try. But this is tried, tested, it's my old faithful. I love this rig, and 9 times out of 10 it catches me fish. Go through the swivel. Now, as I said, I want about 12 to 18 inches. So all I do is I just nick the end, my tracksuit bottoms, put it down to about a desired length, and then we're going to do a blood knot, well probably a half blood knot, because this is quite thicker. You don't need to do a full blood knot. The thicker the line, the more secure the knot is, funny enough. I'm only going to do 4 turns in this. Now if I was using thinner line, I'd do 5, 6, 7 turns. But 4 to 5 turns is ample when you're using quite thick material. Go back through the original hole. Put it all down tight, give it a bit of a moisten, and lock it down. There we go, all secured. We can cut that excess off now. I pulled the weight out of the swivel again. Get our braid scissors. We'll take that down pretty close. I always leave a couple of mil excess just for any slippage. And there we go, there's our finished rig. So all I'm going to do now, just to finish this off, is a tiny bit of putty. I'm going to put about here, a few inches away. But again, as that sits on the floor, I want this to be able to waft up and have that freedom to move. Because it's weedy down there, as far as I know, last time that was going in the weed, and then that could have been sitting just under the weed. But now I've got a long enough hook link on there that can go in the weed, that can drop down, the weed will sit there, and then that can still float about like that. That's the method. That's how I usually fish when it all goes tits up. So I'm going to be using a little bit of putty on this. We're going to be using the Aptus putty, which I did a review about not long ago with some other goodies. Have a look up here, I'll put the video link up. They're a brilliant little company. Their bits and pieces are good, and as soon as I've got a little bit of spare cash, I will be going in and getting their range of hooks to start off with. Now there's two ways of doing this. You can either put it on directly and that way it'll be a little bit more slider and pliable, or if you know exactly where you want it, you can strip back a tiny bit of the coat on the braid and then just attach it on there, and it should stay a little bit more positively secured. Now I'm going to be lazy today and I'm just going to go straight over the top. We're going to take some of that off and put that back in the tub. As I said, I don't want a lot on there. I don't want it to pin it to the floor. I want it to literally, so as I say, now that's on there, rather than that line coming up and doing that, it's going to do that, and it's going to waft about more. So it's not going to come straight up and get all tangled up in the line that might already be there coming up. It's just going to come up, it's going to drift up slightly, and that's going to act more as an attractant rather than a bolt straight up, acting like a zig rig, because that is essentially what this isn't. It's not a zig rig by any chance. It's only about 18 inches long, and don't forget that weight is going to drop into the weeds, so that 18 inches is probably going to be more like 8 or 9 inches by the time and be like a normal hook link. So that's my method to the madness. We're going to get this baited up and we're going to get it back out there. Turns out one of our guys that have come out of us today, it's his first or second time really being out fishing. He went out a couple of weeks ago down at Greenacres, got the buzz for it, went out and bought a setup. He's over the other side of the lake and we've just got phone calls and pictures, which I'll put up on the screen for you. £21 for his first ever bloody fish. He's already smashing PBs. Some of us here that have been fishing for years. So yeah, what an achievement for him. So well done, Paul. Well done, mate. That was yeah, well done. And he got a soak in as well. So we'll get the photos up for you. But yeah, what an achievement for him on his first trip out of his new gear. Oh, time's come to a close on this one. Done 60 hours and yeah, nothing unfortunately. We tried plenty of different rigs and tactics and baits, you name it, we tried it. Unfortunately we couldn't come up on the surface because of the rules. So we tried everything possible, but it just wasn't playing ball. I was told later on you shouldn't spot in a swim that I'm in because it does spook the fish quite easily, and even though I've done very little spotting, I've still done some spotting all the same. So anyway guys, until next time, tight lines.
Take care.